And that's when I realized that your environment. So, this is something that I've been thinking about for the last week, and it's been coming up over and over again because I've recently moved from Gold Coast to Bali. Now, if I bring you back to the beginning of the story, I'm from Adelaide in South Australia, which is in the southernmost part of Australia, not in like the big cities like Melbourne, Sydney, or anything like that, but from little old Adelaide. There's a population of around 1 million people. And I grew up in Adelaide for the first 25 years of my life before I then moved to the Gold Coast in Queensland. And the reason that I moved to the Gold Coast was, well, because my life in Adelaide got to a cap. You see, I did the traditional route where I went to university after high school, and then I graduated and I worked jobs in supermarkets and in hotels, and then I became a PE teacher. And then I started my Amazon business, and by the time I was 25 years old, my Amazon business was making enough money for me to basically quit my job as a PE teacher and go all in on the business. And so that's what I did. And at that point, I realized that I was capped in Adelaide because, well, I didn't know any other people that were like me. So all of my friends from school became tradies or went to university, and I was at home on my laptop not needing to go to work, but I found myself bored and I found myself feeling uninspired. And so I went on a holiday to the Gold Coast in Queensland because my sister and brother-in-law Chris lived in Gold Coast. They're my business partners too. At that point, they weren't my business partners, but I went there for a holiday to visit them, and I basically decided that I'm never going back to Adelaide. And that's when I realized that your environment will dictate how much you grow. You see, I was at the cap of what I could really become in Adelaide, as there was no one around me that was like me. I was alone and I was bored. Whereas then I went to Gold Coast and everyone all of a sudden was out and about, active. It feels like no one works in Gold Coast because there's so many people out and about all of the time. And I realized that your environment really will dictate the capacity of your growth. The people around you, the environment that you're in, how much it inspires you will really dictate how much you can really take yourself and your potential. And now I've just made this move from Gold Coast, where I was living for the last 5 years, basically. 5 years in Gold Coast, to now Bali. And I don't really see myself going back to Australia now. From Bali, I feel like I'll live here in 6 months, and then I want to change my environment again to the next level. Whether that's somewhere in Europe, or if that's Dubai, or anywhere else that my heart fancies, Cape Town in South Africa, I don't know. But my point is that every single time that I've moved, I've felt an accelerated growth curve. My growth would have been steady beforehand, and I moved to a new environment with new people, and it would accelerate. Because I'm in a new area and the people that I meet don't know me from before. They don't know the other versions of me. So I could come into the new environment just being the newer, advanced version of myself. It was like an allowance to actually express this version of myself without remembering or holding on to who I used to be. Now, you might be wondering, okay, Eric, that's cool. You've got a business and you can travel and you can be free, so you can change your environment. I can't do that. Well, I'm going to challenge you on that, because I think that your environment is actually so much more granular than just moving to a new city or moving to a new country, which, by the way, I recommend that you do if you can. But your environment's also the places that you hang out every single week. You know, your sport club, your university, your job, wherever, at home, where you live. The people that you hang around with will dictate how far you go as well. When you're a positive person and your soul yearns for more, yearns for something outside of the ordinary, but everyone else is so stuck inside of the system and in their own conceived traps in their head, the matrix, some may call it. And you're out there wanting more from life, well, that's going to drain from you. It's going to take from you. They become leeches, and they will leech off of that life force, that energy, because the reality is that they want to see, at least they say they want to see you do well, but they never want to see you do too well, because it reminds them that you were at the same level once upon a time. You went and accelerated and became more, and they didn't. And that is brutal for people. But you need to get rid of these people as soon as possible. So if you're living at home with your parents, this might be the people closest to you. And you might need to say, hey, I need to move out. Or if it's your best friend from high school that you're hanging out with for years and you've got all these awesome memories with, and you talk with them and it's still funny, but it's still the same old stuff that you used to talk about 3 years ago. and it's still the same. And whenever you talk about the future and what you want to do and who you want to become, and if you want to talk about leveling up as a man, they then will say, I don't want to talk about that, and talk about old stories, the past. They don't want to level up with you. You need to cut them out right away. You will not grow until you cut these people out and change your immediate environment. Level up, isolate yourself. It's better to be by yourself than with the wrong crowd, with the wrong people. Focus on leveling yourself up and your immediate environment. And then when you can, go to a new city, go to a new country. And I guarantee that your acceleration and your growth will increase faster than you could have ever imagined. Because you're with new people, you have to figure things out, you're in a new environment, and you can allow yourself to be the new advanced version of yourself and not the person who you used to be. It's actually like when you go to somewhere new, that all of a sudden, you're only who you choose to be. That's all. You can go there and boom, you're just a new character. No one knows you. They only know you from who the person you are right now. So, on that note, go out there and think about your immediate environment right now. What's holding you back? Which friend is leeching energy from you? Who do you feel bad energy from that doesn't serve the man that you want to become? You must get rid of them right away so you can become the man that you were destined to be. So as always, a reminder, your future self is counting on you. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.